I'm a Protestant, but the number one reason I would convert to Catholicism is the Eucharist. But it's also the number one thing holding me back. Let me explain. See, I didn't grow up with the Eucharist. It was always just a symbol and felt empty to me. I always knew that something was missing from it. So when I learned about the concept of real presence and the reverence that Catholics give to the sacrament, I craved that more than anything. I fully believe that the Eucharist has always been and should continue to be the climax of the Sunday service. But there are two Catholic practices which unfortunately I disagree with. First, communion in only one kind. See, a huge part of the Reformation was actually revolving around this topic. The Reformers insisted that when Jesus instituted the sacrament, he specifically instructed us to eat his flesh and drink his blood. And the Catholic sacrament, for one reason or another, has been reduced to only the bread for the laity. I've heard all the arguments for why this is okay, but I can't help but feel like it ignores what Christ commanded us to do. Which, by the way, I'm not making the argument that communion in both kinds is strictly necessary for the sacrament to be efficacious, but the whole reason I left evangelicalism is because I was tired of all these arguments saying that we don't need to do something and therefore we're not going to do it. I just think that we should do what we're commanded to do. Second, the procession and adoration. I fully believe that we should have the highest form of reverence for the sacrament, but I can't shake this feeling that Christ gave us his flesh for us to eat of it, not to look at. And again, I fully believe that Christ is present with us in the Eucharist. But it seems like this practice takes the Eucharist out of its expressly stated context. Regardless of what I currently think on this topic, it was my Catholic brothers and sisters that got me to appreciate the Eucharist in the first place. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And let me know in the comments, is my thinking backwards on this? Continue to follow along as we trace the cross.